Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and please do not forget to like and subscribe, thank you. Love that ends where depth should begin. Lee Min-ho opens his heart on why he fears shallow love and what true connection means to him. In the shimmering world of Korean entertainment, where applause rises like a wave and every step of a celebrity is bathed in flashing lights, it is easy to believe that stars live in a realm untouched by loneliness, fear, or longing. But sometimes, in the quiet corners of interviews, in the rare moments where fame does not overshadow humanity, the world is reminded that even the brightest stars carry wounds, questions, and desires that no spotlight can erase. Lee Min-ho, one of South Korea's most adored actors, recently bared a piece of his soul that many had never seen before. Known for his charismatic roles in dramas that redefined romance for an entire generation, he stunned fans when he spoke, not of glamorous achievements or his next big project, but of a fear that has silently haunted his heart for years, the fear of shallow love. The quiet battle behind the charismatic smile. To millions, Lee Min-ho is the perfect leading man, tall, elegant, charming, the man who seems to walk out of a fairy tale. Yet, behind the world's perception lies a truth often hidden. He confessed that his fear of shallow love stems from experiences that left him questioning what is real and what is fleeting. He admitted that there were times in his life when he felt loved but not known, admired but not understood. The hardest thing, he explained softly, is to realize that someone is in love with the version of you that lives in their imagination, not the real you who laughs awkwardly, who struggles with loneliness, who sometimes cries in silence. That confession alone pierced the hearts of fans. For many, it was the first time they realized that the actor they worshipped was not immune to the ache of conditional affection. Why shallow love is more frightening than loneliness. Lee Min-ho painted an image that lingered in the minds of listeners. He said shallow love is like water that only touches the skin but never quenches the thirst of the soul. At first, it feels refreshing, but soon you realize you are still parched, still yearning for something deeper. Loneliness can be endured, he reflected, but shallow love? That breaks you. Because it tricks you into believing you've found something real, only for the truth to unravel when storms come. It leaves you not only heartbroken but also doubting yourself. Was I ever truly loved, or was I only an illusion to someone? For a man who has seen adoration from fans worldwide, his fear is not being unloved but being loved superficially. To him, nothing is more terrifying than a relationship built on fragile walls of attraction, money, or status. Fame, he said, is like a fire. It draws people close, but not all come because they want warmth. Some come only to play with the flame, and when it fades, so do they. What depth means in love. When asked what kind of love he seeks, Lee Min-ho's answer was not the kind of romantic ideal you might expect from a screen idol. His words were profound, grounded, almost spiritual. I want a love that chooses me on the days when I am not charming, when I am not strong, when I cannot give the world a reason to admire me. I want a love that listens to my silence, that does not rush me to be perfect, that accepts that I am human. He explained that true love, to him, is built in small, ordinary moments. It is not in grand gestures, but in the quiet acts of care, a hand that reaches for yours in the dark, a presence that stays even when words cannot fix the pain, forgiveness that arrives when mistakes are made. True love is not afraid of imperfections, he whispered. It does not hide when weakness shows. It does not shrink when hardships come. It is patient, it is deep, and it is rare. That is what I long for. The emotional weight of his revelation. His vulnerability has struck a chord across the globe. Fans who have adored him for his roles in Boys Over Flowers, The Heirs, Legend of the Blue Sea, and The King, Eternal Monarch now saw not just the actor but the man. A man who, despite his fame, still longs for something every human being desires, to be loved beyond the surface. One fan wrote on Twitter, "He is teaching us that love without depth is just attraction wearing a mask." This is the most beautiful confession I've ever heard from him. Another echoed, "It makes me cry to think that even someone like Lee Min-ho, who is everything, fears being loved for the wrong reasons. We all want the same thing, to be loved for who we truly are. Instagram flooded with artwork, quotes, and letters inspired by his words, as fans created a global ripple effect, turning his vulnerability into a collective reflection on the meaning of love. Lessons beyond romance. But perhaps the most powerful part of Lee Min-ho's revelation is that it is not just about romantic love. His fear of shallow love also reflects friendships, family connections, and the way the world treats people in general. We live in a world, he explained, where many relationships are transactional. People often stay close as long as they benefit from you. But when you have nothing left to give, the truth of their love is tested. For him, this realization has shaped the way he chooses his circle, the way he builds his friendships, and the kind of people he allows into his life. I don't need people who cheer only when I'm winning, he said. I need people who will walk with me when I stumble. A gentle reminder to the world. At the end of his emotional conversation, Lee Min-ho gave a message that touched deeply. Do not chase shallow love. Do not give it and do not accept it, because shallow love will leave you empty. Choose depth, even if it takes time. Choose sincerity, even if it is harder. Choose love that remains when everything else fades. Those words, poetic yet heavy with truth, have stayed with his fans like an echo, reminding them that love is not about how brightly it shines in the beginning, but how firmly it stands when the storms of life arrive. Why this confession matters. For many years, Lee Min-ho has been seen as untouchable, almost too perfect. But now, he has allowed his vulnerability to speak louder than his image. By admitting his fear, he is connected to millions on a human level. His story proves that no matter how much fame, wealth, or admiration you may have, the human heart craves something far more precious, a love that is deep, steady, and real. And perhaps that is why his words have struck so strongly, because they are not just his truth, but the truth of everyone who has ever feared being loved only halfway. Rose, and so the world listens to Lee Min-ho, not as an actor in a role, but as a man with a trembling yet courageous heart, a man who has reminded us that shallow love may glitter, but it will never satisfy the soul. Only depth can.